Language enthusiasts are increasingly turning to AI tools like ChatGPT for learning and practicing new languages. But when it comes to Hungarian, a language known for its complexity, can ChatGPT truly stand up to the challenge? In today's video, we will put ChatGPT to the test to evaluate its reliability in assisting with Hungarian language learning. Hi, I am Sissi, a seasoned language teacher, enthusiastic polyglot, and dedicated linguist. I have stumbled upon claims of an AI-powered platform promising to revolutionize language learning, but my initial observations suggest that its proficiency in Hungarian might be overstated, with noticeable errors in its responses. Join me as we first scrutinize its capabilities before diving deeper into how ChatGPT could potentially aid in mastering Hungarian. Let's find out how pluralization works in Hungarian according to TalkPo. Okay, so unlike in English, Hungarian does not employ the use of the plural marker s. Instead, Hungarian employs three primary suffixes to indicate plurals: ka, ok, and ok. Okay, interesting. These suffixes are decided based on vowel harmony rules, as mentioned earlier. So let's take a look at the second one. I find it quite interesting. It says that the plural suffix is applied to words with back vowels. So o, a, o, u. For example, heed becomes hidak. So the plural form of heed, bridge, it means bridge, is indeed hidak. Rest, yes. But it might seem confusing at first glance, given the rule for pluralization in Hungarian according to the website, right? It says that the ak suffix is used for pluralizing nouns with back vowels such as o, a, o, u, and u, right? So why does heed become hidak? Heed has a front vowel in it and not a back vowel, right? Simply because the rule is not correctly explained here. Heed is an exception. Also, it says that the ok, right, the ok suffix is attached to words with front vowels. U. For example, tér, square, turns to terek. What? How? So when you attach ok to tér, it becomes terek. All right, understood. Very interesting. Well, here is another site where you can find the correct rule. Okay, as you can see, the suffixes are k, ka, ok, ek, and ök. So for those eager to dive deeper, check the links in the description below. I have found many other errors on this website, so be cautious if you want to use it. But now let's dive into how ChatGPT can assist with learning and practicing Hungarian. I have already asked Chat to tell me how I can benefit from it, so let's see what it suggests. It says, using ChatGPT to learn Hungarian can be an effective and interactive way. Okay, for example, here are some strategies you can employ. Basic phrases and vocabulary. Start by asking ChatGPT to teach you basic Hungarian phrases and vocabulary. Okay, we will test it. Pronunciation guide. Well, okay. Practice conversations. Engage in simple text-based conversations in Hungarian. Grammar lessons. Request explanations of Hungarian grammar rules, including verb conjugations, noun cases, and sentence structure. Okay, well, all right. Let's put its explanation of the plural rule to the test. All right. Vowel harmony. Hungarian is known for its vowel harmony, where the vowels within a word harmonize to be either front or back vowels. All right, that's clear. This principle affects plural formation as well, with the different suffixes used based on the vowel harmony of the word. The primary plural suffixes are ka, ok, ek, and uk. Okay, that's good. So unlike the other AI powered website, it doesn't mention ak at all. Okay. So let's see what it says. Back vowel words. For words that primary contain back vowels, okay, the plural suffix is usually ok. For example, attention, kutya becomes kutyák. So it's not ok. Very interesting. So where did the suffix ok go? Okay, but okay, we can see that also ChatGPT makes mistakes. But let's move on and let's explore how ChatGPT handles a request for a simple dialogue, okay? Okay, practicing basic dialogues is a great way. We know that. Below are a few simple dialogues you can use to practice. Let's see. So, elnézést, mennyibe kerül ez a póló? Ez a póló 5000 forintba kerül. Fine. Elfogadnak hitelkártyát? Igen, elfogadunk hitelkártyát. Okay, seems to be okay. Second one. Elnézést, hol találom a női cipőket? A női cipők a második emeleten vannak, jobbra az esküvői ruhák mellett. Köszönöm szépen. Fine, very good. Checking availability dialog 3. Elnézést, van ebben a méretben? Milyen méretet keres? 39-es méretet keresek. Egy pillanat megnézem. Igen, van 39-es méret. Okay, very good. Dialog 4, making a purchase. Ezt szeretném megvenni. Nagyszerű. Kérem, kövessen a pénztárhoz. Tudok fizetni készpénzzel. Természetesen készpénzzel is fizethet. Okay, great. The basic dialogue seem to be in good shape. Next, let's elevate our challenge by requesting a story. Egyszer volt, hol nem volt. Volt egyszer egy kisfiú, aki szeretett rajzolni. Minden nap ment az iskolába, ahol találkozott a barátaival. Egy nap, amikor hazafelé indult, egy különös madarat látott egy fán. A madár nézett rá, és a kisfiú úgy érezte, mintha a madár beszélni akarna vele. Well, in this part, we come across a few noteworthy points, I think. To begin with, the phrase minden nap ment az iskolába feels a bit awkward in this context, though it's not entirely incorrect, okay? But it would sound better if we say minden nap iskolába ment, for example. But there are other options as well. But okay, let's take a look at this one. A madár nézett rá. A madár nézett rá. Well, the correct expression should be a madár ránézett instead of a madár nézett rá. Okay, so anyway, now let's go on. Let's examine another example. Aznap este a kisfiú mesélt a családjának a különleges találkozásról. Ők hallgatták figyelmesen, és a történet tett őket boldoggá. The phrase és a történet tett őket boldoggá seems off. The correct structure is és a történet boldoggá tette őket. Okay? So that's not okay. The grammar is not okay. Additionally, the story itself is quite peculiar and strange, I think. So from a didactic perspective, it's not something I would incorporate into my teaching materials. But if there is a story in another language you enjoy, consider translating it into Hungarian, and it might just do the trick. Let's put this idea to the test. We will take a beginner level story in Italian and request its translation into Hungarian. Okay, szombatonként Anna általában nem dolgozik, napját sokféle tevékenységgel tölti, Anna általában reggel 8 körül kell, és bőséges reggelit fogyaszt, reggelire tejet és kekszet eszik, 10 körül Anna takarít, rendbe teszi a szobáját és elmosogat, ezután vásárolni megy a szupermarketbe, általában sok mindent vesz, köztük zöldséget és húst. Ebéd előtt Anna meglátogatja a szüleit is, akik a külvárosban élnek, általában velük ebédel. Jó. Délután Anna általában barátnőivel találkozik, gyakran mennek együtt vásárolni vagy sétálni. 19 körül Anna hazatér és elkészíti a vacsorát. A vacsora után barátokkal találkozik és elmennek moziba. Indeed, it looks like it works. So, if you translate, if you take a story from another language, I took it from Italian, and you translate it into Hungarian, it might work, okay? But now I will take it a step further and ask ChatGPT to convert the story into the past tense. Szombatonként általában, Anna általában nem dolgozott, napját sokféle tevékenységgel töltötte, oké, bőséges reggelit fogyasztott, oké, kekszet evett, rendbe tette a szobát és elmosogatott, oké, vásárolni ment, vett, oké, külvárosban éltek, ebédelt, találkozott, oké. This is promising. It seems to be working quite well. Now let's experiment with something different. Suppose we aim to thoroughly understand the story, making it essential to answer questions about it. Questions, by the way, are an excellent method to test comprehension. Depending on the educational level and objectives, various types of questions can be utilized in teaching. For beginners, I prefer questions that reinforce grammar and vocabulary practice. So I pose straightforward questions, expecting the student to respond by mirroring the same word and grammatical structures. It's somewhat akin to shadowing. With this approach in mind, I requested the creation of such questions. Mit tett Anna szombatonként általában? Hány körül kelt fel Anna szombatonként? Mit reggelizett Anna? Mit csinált Anna 10 körül? Hogyan tette rendbe a szobáját Anna? Etc. Well, alright. So, as a teacher, I find these questions usable in my lessons, since I had the opportunity to correct them, okay, and corrections are indeed necessary. For instance, mit tett Anna is grammatically correct, but contextually off. It leans more towards what has she done? What has she done? When our intended question is, what did she do? A simple question, okay? Therefore, the correct phrasing should be mit csinált Anna. Based on these examples, we can conclude that ChatGPT can be useful for practicing basic dialogues and straightforward text translations. However, it's wise to approach with caution and verify the accuracy with a native speaker. Additionally, extra care should be taken with grammar rules, as we have seen that the stories generated by ChatGPT may contain errors. I'm not suggesting that it's entirely without value, but it's important to remain aware of these drawbacks. While it may prove effective with English and other widely spoken languages at present, it isn't the most efficient tool for enhancing your proficiency in Hungarian. Have you had any experience using ChatGPT for learning Hungarian? What are your thoughts on its effectiveness? Are there any other tools or resources you have found useful for language learning or learning Hungarian? Feel free to share your experience and recommendations in the comments.